Hazardor Gaming, Dragon of Dojima, the Twitter account owner, posts a lot of news around the gaming industry, news and all that stuff. And they posted some comments from PlayStation, one of PlayStation's co-CEO, Hideaki Nishino, where he talked about a few trends and PlayStation's commitment to business. Now, the article is on Nikkei.com, and not only is it fully in Japanese, when you use Google to translate it, it's still behind a paywall. However, Hazardor Gaming decided to carry us and translate this whole thing, or get some snippets of the translation. So shout out to him. We're going to be looking at some of the breakdown being done here. Now, the article does point out that PlayStation's co-CEO says consoles will remain the core of their business, speaking on the rise of PC gaming popularity. So now they are finally, I don't know if they've been admitting it or they already know this, but I'm sure they've already known this, that PC gaming and its rise has always been a thing since the PlayStation 4, time, in terms of it being accessible. It'd been known from the PS3 and Xbox One days, but the PS4 days was when the accessibility came into play, seeing that there was one of the first Bitcoin crazes and, the digital mining currency crazes that went on at the time. I've pointed this out to some of you, and then PC components were made available. They were cheap. I even showed some of you receipts from when I built my first PC in 2016, and I paid, what I thought was good amounts of money for PC components. In 2020, PC components got expensive, and some people thought, well, this is the end of PC gaming. However, what they did not realize was, even at the time, a lot of components from the 2016 to 2020 parts had exploded, and the used market was still there. The trade market was still there. I remember many benefits during that time. And so PlayStation has been aware. And so I'm not surprised that the Series S, X, and PS5 have basically targeted their own audience in a way to brand themselves as, we can give you what the PC gives the PC players. So this is something that's known. You got to go look at NPD data from back then. They'll show you how the growth was quite, significant back in those years. And so in continuation, he also says that they're trying to increase and expand content for overall gaming market, which is PC, and reach a wider audience. This is something that we've been talking about on this channel for a very long time. And one thing I've learned to do these days is, at first I used to kind of have conversations in the comment section with some of the hecklers, but what I've decided to do is I've decided to block you. And I know it gets to some of you because I see your comments on other forums and other means. But when you have these conversations, you're not being honest with the things that you say. You literally will come on the channel. The video will be pointing you to exactly what it is that you need to know. And then you'll be asking some questions because for some reason you think trolling is the, cutest thing ever. Maybe you think you're the first person to be a troll. And so what I do is I block you, and I want to see how you will react. And many of you react as predictably as I would have thought, because you're not here for honest conversations. You're here to play list wars. And you think this is all funny. In fact, I've seen some comments that are, very, I don't know how to put them. I wouldn't say intricate. I would say quite asinine. And I've just had to remove them because for the most part, a lot of those people are not trying to argue in good faith. Most of them are just trying to, mislead people. Many of them have their minds already made up one way or the other. No amount of evidence can change their minds. And I'm not really worried about that, to be very honest with you. I just wish they wouldn't say or spread lies when they're actually having these conversations. And if I see those lies being spread, it's over. I have no reason to allow them on the Video Game Fight School channel, because this is, for the most part, something that is scientific and something that you can actually go and prove or disprove, because everything is out here laid out for us, especially with the media and a lot of the competition right now with people sharing news and sharing information. So already, based on these, little snippets, you can tell that PlayStation understands right now that its proxy market is PC, which it's following Xbox in doing this. Yes, they're following Xbox to the PC market because already the dumping, began like in 2017, 2018. And now it's not just the dumping, it's now the offloading and, just literally just throwing it at PC to the point where they're now masking it in all kinds of different things like, oh, it's only going to be live service games. Well, then here's another multiplayer single player game that's coming day one. Here's another remake that's coming day one. But there's still all these so-called, qualifiers that they want to put on top of it. No, just be honest. It's good money. It's a bigger platform. And it's a platform that can support your games. It's a very good business advantage. I make these videos, and to be very, frank with you guys, because I want PlayStation to have this competitive edge. You don't understand what's going to happen if you leave one of these few companies to take the reins in any single category. Like PlayStation is now sniffing their own farts because they sold 60 million consoles and want to sell you a Pro for $700. And that's because, for the most part, it's not because Xbox is not being competitive. It's because you guys have ignored Xbox competition. That's what you did. The consumer basically sat there and said, hey, Xbox is not competitive. And then when you look at what even PlayStation thinks about Xbox's competitive value, you're going to be pretty much open your jaw and it's going to hit the ground. The problem is Game Pass came about 2 years late. That's basically what happened with Game Pass. When it showed up in 2017, it was already 2 years late. The whole console generation of the PlayStation 4 had already been taken with ease by PlayStation. Let's keep reading some of the snippets like I actually promised, because I just seem to have gotten off this tangent. There's so many interesting things. And then he took another quote from there. He says, we're trying to increase the overall game market by expanding content to PCs. This is a wise strategy. I'm so proud of, today I'm proud of you, PlayStation, that you guys are actually coming out to say it again. Because remember, right? Does anybody remember the Sony boss actually saying, I feel like we have not taken time to, properly evaluate the aggressiveness that we're taking towards PC. And now the co-CEOs are looking, who are basically, his guys that are managing PlayStation, are looking at PC and saying, yeah, you're right. And I'm sure they've known, but they've banked on perception. But now that they have, a big, huge gap in terms of their big name games, and they seem to continue to have bigger gaps, because how many games are carrying PlayStation right now? It used to be God of War, Uncharted, Spider-Man, and maybe The Last of Us, of which now they've basically kind of, in a sense, dwindled off. They don't have any successors. They canceled Days Gone, after part 1. They never really decided to invest in it. They let the news media just run wild with the nasty stories about the game, and it was a good game, and the game would have been a successor. It could have had even attached to it a live service zombie mode like game, like Days Gone or State of Decay. Did I say Days Gone? DayZ and State of Decay, but nobody was thinking ahead, and so they allow for that franchise to just go die on the wayside. And now they want to expand Horizon, which is the least popular, even though it does have sales. Don't get me wrong, but it's not really as popular to the demographics that are going to play a lot of these live service games. Those that play Uncharted have not seen an Uncharted game lately, and they canceled Factions. So again, what they need to do is they need to take the franchises that they have on hand to PC. And here it is, one of the co-CEOs is saying this. There's no doubt that home consoles will be the core of our business. No one is doubting that. You need a console. Nintendo's got a console. Xbox got a console. It's good. But by offering titles for devices other than home consoles, we will reach a wide range of customers. What I've been saying, what PlayStation fans should know but refuse to know. Why do you PlayStation hardcore fans like to bury your head in the sand on purpose? Does it make you feel good to think that something that you've bragged about, is no longer the case? Because Sony was not really, didn't really care. They just wanted you to just seem like, by word of mouth, you were, evangelizing for their platform. And everybody else was just looking and saying, yeah, these 4 or 5 games, and then money-hatted games that are all making their way to PC, that are eventually coming to Xbox, when you kind of, evaluate that they can't sell enough of these items on the PlayStation platform alone, it makes sense. So here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and kind of put a big pin in this particular part of the video. If PlayStation themselves want to offer a wider range of audiences, let me ask a very critical question. Then why would any third-party publisher entertain the thought of having an exclusive on PlayStation? Is it now a thing where the whole exclusivity thing is no longer sustainable and is being fickle and is falling apart? Because exclusivity is in terms of a third party, is a service issue. It's not it's not a game availability. It's just a service issue, because PlayStation has decided that it's going to take that approach to the market and pretty much, in a sense, block other gamers from playing specific games. But if you're a third-party publisher and you're looking at this and you see what they're saying here, then you better be picking up the signals. You better be picking up the signals. And so I think this is one of those things where, the people that are running PlayStation, they really do understand exactly the assignment and what needs to be done. If not, they cannot stay competitive. It's not possible. Because again, Like, as people have been saying, Xbox now is collecting the checks quickly. They're 70% for Call of Duty. They're already collecting it, man. You know, after pre-orders and everything finally gets solidified, and PlayStation has that, that amazing refund policy, they know it's guaranteed sales on that PlayStation platform, bro. There's no extra maps. There's no double XP weekend. There's none of that anymore. They now have parity in terms of Call of Duty. And those who are smart, who maybe have a Series S or maybe have a gaming PC or are really into COD and now they're going to invest in their COD gameplay, they're going to take the route that suits them the most. And either way, the route that suits them is still a route that makes Xbox profitable. So again, I think they're responding to the competition. They're responding to the market forces. Good on them. Thanks for watching. Peace out.